Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches here on YouTube. I have a Instagram channel and a Facebook page, but the Facebook page is here and there. It doesn't really get a lot of activity, but enough to say I have one. This is Simon. He's asleep. He finally fell asleep. Although he was very cute. We almost had a full cameo the last time I filmed. I was not happy with what it was like, so therefore didn't happen. I wasn't very, like, I'm watching people like Samantha, the Hugo Stitcher, or Lala D Stitches, Laura. They're very always like, I'm here, I'm ready to go, let's do this. I've been watching my videos lately because I watch them sometimes. I'm not really like that. I know there's been a lot of stuff going on recently to make my emotions go all wonky, but that's not okay. I'm not cool with that. So we're gonna try our best to stay up and up, because that's a little bit more fun to watch instead of me just being like, here's the next one, here's the next one, here's the next one, Anyway, okay, so welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch and cats. There might be cats, there might not be cats, there might be a husband, there might not be. He's sleeping, he's got a migraine, so I really can't be that uppity up because he's migraine. Anyways, today is Thursday, June 12th, 2025. And here we go. So I am filming tonight. It is now 7-ish, 7:30 even. So we might need to pause and actually turn on some lights because this is just the lights from outside still. Yay for sunlight. Alright. You might hear scratching cats. That is Skitters. He's getting into a bag. Or maybe he's gonna try and eat the handle. But it looks like he's just trying to make himself a little home. Woke up Simon, that's cool. Alright, so a few things happened this week. James had treatment 2 days. So Monday, Tuesday were treatment days. Wednesday was another doctor's appointment for his autoimmune illnesses. And everything is on the up and up. He's not feeling very well lately, but at the same point, it'll be okay. New antibiotics. We're gonna try again. It's been a couple weeks. So, while he's been doing that, and I've been stitching, and we've been cutting lawns, and going to doctor's appointments, and that's all. That's all. That's all we do. We didn't make it up to the trailer last weekend because, because money doesn't grow on trees. So, it is what it is. Some weeks are like that. Is that his tail wrapped around his leg? Oh my god, that's cute. Anyway, I don't normally have the fluffy blanket out, so that's probably why he's like, I love this fluffy blanket. Because I have a full fluffy blanket. What's that called? Like the plush, the real plush stuff? That's not what it is. Anyway, on the bed, and he is always snuggled in around the super soft, super comfy blanket. Alright, so let's get to stitching now that we've been talking for almost 4 minutes. Here we go. So, I have 2 types of stitching. I have full coverage and I have not full coverage. I put both of them in lists, so separate lists. Separate lists, and gave each of those designated names of charts, either stitch counts or... Are you gonna jump up on your brother? Oh boy, you woke him up. The window's open, the AC's off, therefore there are no cats that are going to be jumping out, but they're fun to look at. So they're fun to look at, if that was in English. Okay, so we're going to start with the non-full coverage because that is what is up right now, and that is what I started out with last week. So Simon is very skittish, and so if he jumps around, then, you know, that's the deal. This is Buttercup by Nora Corbett. Oh my! And it even says it on the back of the card. This is, if I have my glasses, which I don't, because I left them at the trailer 2 weeks ago. This is NC 195, and it was from 2013. I had just seen this completed on Instagram and thought, I need that blue fabric. It was a light blue, kind of almost like Batman blanket, with her popping out on it. She popped. It was like, I need to restart. I don't know where to find that fabric, but I need to restart. I can't tell you who it was. It was just a scroll, double click. One of those days where you're just aimlessly looking at Instagram and just like in awe of what everybody else is doing. Okay, so, it goes this way. So, this is what it looks like. I'm going to put it over here. This is what it looks like. I'm going to put it over here. Whereas, I usually put the pictures over there, right? Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out when I'm editing this. Anyways, I'm going to put the picture here, and I'm going to put my stitching here. Okay, so this is what it looked like, and this is what it is now. If I can get a good, who knows, but I added I think it was 50 stitches in here. Let me just go back to the, and make it bigger because, you know, glasses. Okay. Yeah, 50 stitches. Only 50 stitches, but they all ended up in... It'd be helpful if I had it the right way around. Okay, so, yes, added in here with the darker yellow, and the medium and darker yellow is what I did. Anyway, color completed those 2 squares, and I think that's how I'm going to be stitching this for the rest of the time, because square by square makes sense for that one. For this one, however, this is Miss Goss Swallowtail by Nora Corbett. It's this one. I am working in her wings right now. Is it this? It's going to be this wing. It's this wing. This wing. I'm having a very big back and like left and right day. Anyway, let's see what it looked like before. It's not going to be a lot of change because it was only 25 stitches, but at least it got worked on. Here we are. I will put it where it was before, and you're going to see that it's not changing a whole lot. So I've started with the black and stitched a little bit of that, what's that called, seafoam green, and so I'm just working it line by line going down. That seems to be the best way for this Nora Corbett. It was interesting because the first day that I was doing this new rotation, I guess after I had filmed, because I had filmed, thought this new plan, stitched this, was trying to attempt to collaborate the whole video together last week. It didn't turn out the first round, so by the time I had finished stitching this, I had to film again. So, but this was part of next week's plans, so I couldn't show you last week. Does that make sense? Anyway, so that was Friday, and then what I spun for Saturday was another Nora Corbett. So I'm just waiting for Savannah Skirtsy to come by, and I actually really like working on her. She hasn't been spun yet, but these are all of the colors and all of the beads and all of the everything for this one. I am just jumping around now because I'm very excited because I had too much coffee in that. You haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be a good sleep. Not really. Because, anyways. Alright, here we are. So, FlossTube nose. Those are full coverages. Where is the last? Or not last? Okay, so on Monday. So I can't remember what happened on Sunday. Maybe it was... Oh, it was Wolf. So, Wolf happened on Sunday. This is by Dimensions. I'm having a very difficult time with Wolf. Wolf is almost on the UFO list because... Anyways, this is what it looked like before. But I'll do a side-by-side, and this is what it's going to look like now. Because, again, stitched on it for 15 minutes and got 21 stitches in. So, this is what it looks like, and this is what it looks like now. So, I added a lot of the darker colors in here because I'm not a light stitcher on this piece. I don't know what it is. It's 18 count, so it's little. But I can't do it. And plus, my glasses are at the trailer, I'm pretty sure. So there's that. And I didn't feel like bringing out the big magnifying light, so I didn't have the magnifying part of the light. It's fine. Next time. Okay, so that's done, and then Monday comes around. We have an appointment at the hospital for James all day long. Treatments are all like 6 hours long, so I bring things to do, I bring things to watch, I make sure all my things are charged, I have my headphones, all the things, right? So, probably about halfway through the day. So I started this at, let's tell you what this is first before I get into the story. So this next one is Folk Hello by Elizabeth Spurlock. It is from a magazine that I will tell you shortly. So this is Folk Hello. It is from Just Cross Stitch, April 2019. Can't tell you what the cover looks like because that's long gone. Anyways, so that's that. I don't have a picture for the before because I just didn't do it, but just imagine that a whole letter, not a whole letter, half of the letter is missing. That is what it's going to look like before. So now, about halfway through the day of, 3 to 4 hours into sitting there waiting for treatment to be done and stitching on this and listening to FlossTube while having my headphones in on my tablet, set up, I'm good, I'm not taking up anybody else's space, I'm in my own little zone. This woman comes by with, who, she was a mother, okay, but, so her daughter was going in for some kind of treatment that hopefully wasn't very long, and it wasn't, but she was outside in the hallway of the hospital, because we sit in the hallway, because there's not enough space in the treatment rooms, anyways, so, in the hallway, she's on her phone, which is okay, but she's listening to YouTube, on moderate to full volume. So it's not only disturbing me as a hallway person, but, there's offices and clinics and, everywhere around us. So it's not as if, it's just me that's being disturbed. Maybe it wasn't disturbing everybody else, but it was definitely disturbing me. I was already having a grumpy day for some reason. I just didn't wake up okay. And then this didn't help anybody. So, and then once she was done watching her YouTube at medium to full volume, without headphones, she was, I guess it was her son, her husband, I don't know, texting, which was like an alarm sound. It was like, it wasn't just like a bing, it was like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, like one of those for your text messages every 3 seconds, and also on full volume. And then what else? And then so she would reply to said message with a voice to text. So still very loud. And I'm just like, I'm very Canadian. I won't even say, hey, can you stop that? Anyways. Okay, so meanwhile, needless to say, I was planning on stitching the whole letter, but this lady was very distracting and I couldn't do it. So, and then by the time I got to half the H, I was done. Like, I was like, I'm done. So just imagine everything but the H wasn't stitched, because that's what I worked on. So the bottom half of the H. So this project is getting done slowly. I was supposed to put 25 stitches into this. This somehow, I don't even understand how, but this is 300. It doesn't look like 300, but these rows are like 11 stitches long. So there's 55 stitches automatically in these little bottom square part, like bottom rectangle parts. I still don't know what's going to happen when I get to the top and have to do the rest of the flowers, because I don't know those colors. Those colors aren't called for. I don't know. I don't know. There, and this floss tube is going to be like a normal floss tube where it's like 45 minutes to an hour, because I'm not even done my projects yet, and we're already at 16 minutes. So, not that I need long videos, but you know, sometimes it's nice to have a long one here and there. Alright, so that's going to go back into the bag. That's it for my non-full coverage. There was a few days this week that probably 2 or 3 days this week that I didn't stitch at all. Like I didn't stitch on day 2 of treatment. I didn't stitch on Wednesday. Today is Friday. Today is Thursday. Oh, so it was only 2 days, but 2 days is still long enough. Okay, what's next? Is it getting darker in here? I can't tell. This is done, this is correct, and I'll go up there. Okay, so on to full coverages. Yeah, I don't think sleeping is happening today. Okay, so I'm exhausted. Here we are. No, I don't. No. We did this last time. There we go. Phew. Okay, so something that I was supposed to get to this week, but did not get to this week because I don't have the chart that has the phone. I don't have the phone that has the chart. This is Hazel's World. Hazel's World? Yeah, sure. By Dakota Dateweiler. I did not get to put my 25 stitches into it because I could not find the phone that the chart was on. But for those of you who are relatively new, okay, sorry. Okay, so right, Hazel, don't have the phone, don't know where it is, can't tell you. But this is Hazel for the full width of cross. That is an angle down. Not reached the bottom yet, of course, but I think I might turn on the light because it's getting dark. Because now it's 7:45 and apparently we're not in July yet. So hold up. That's better. Okay, so, right. You don't need to see any of that. Okay, here we go. A little bit more organized. That, still disaster. We were able to move the couch back 2 weeks ago. It's hot, man, it's hot. It's hot. Okay. Hazel's Worldview. Did you get it? Is that what it's called? Hazel's World? Maybe it's just Hazel's World. Anyway, it's retired. It's on my old phone, so therefore I don't know where it is right now. There's a heat wave in here. Wow. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. That was very coffee-y. I gotta stop doing that. Okay, so the next thing that was spun for, actually, we're gonna go in order of kind of what was spun, when it was spun, all of the things. So Saturday morning, I did my official first full coverage spin. Because I had already done my official first non-full coverage. Right. Okay, so on Friday. So my first official full coverage spin was Sad Fairy by Elena Lazareva. This is what it used to look like before I put 400 stitches into it. This used to be my hardest working project. I couldn't figure it out. It was very... every time I worked on it. Now I have a newfound love for it because I found the bottom of the page. Yep. That's the first page. Page one. Page one. So now I just need to work across the bottom and go page by page. And that's exciting. So page one is on its way to completion. I can finally see the finish line for that page. We can continue. Because there was a long time where I was like, should I restart it? Should I crop it? It's too big. Like, it's 180,000 stitches. Okay, so I know all of you big stitchers, that's not your supersized stitchers. That's not big for you guys, but 180 is massive. This is a massive piece of fabric for me. Okay, so that's that. I'm kind of losing my spunk, but that's okay. This is Skitters. Hi, Skitters. And still Simon. Hi, Simon. Oh, there you are. Hi, Simon. All right. Sorry. Okay, so next up was Minnie watching the world go by. If you start cleaning his bum, I'm telling you, it's a whole day. All right. So, Minnie Watching the World Go By Lucy Pitaway. That's what it's going to look like. And I'll do a before and after picture right beside each other again. I was able to put in 325 stitches. Sorry for the big reveal, but not reveal at the same time. All right. So, I was able to, I have a story about this. I was able to work across the bottom so that I'm almost at the corner of this piece. So there's a lot of mini goals, mini finishes. What's that called? Mini milestones. Mini milestones. Let's do that. Okay, so as you can see, I've worked all the way along the bottom now. Almost all the way to the edge. I originally had worked all the way down the edge on this side in this color, and then I was going to wrap around and, you know, meet up with everybody over here. But then I decided to not count properly going down. I don't know what happened. There was a mix-up in something or other, and then, anyway, so I started stitching from over here to see if it was going to line up, and it didn't. So I ripped it all out and then added farther along, went back to go check the tablet to see what the actual number was supposed to be, and it was supposed to be 350, but I was done at 325. I was like, between the ripping out of this and the counting in of that, I counted this like to see if when I had it stitched, if it was going to line up with the bottom of this one. And I was like, no. Like, no, it's not, no. It's, no, you're not allowed to make a full corner, not today. I'm not happening. It's not happening. Okay, so then, lo and behold, I spun the one that was supposed to be 325, was supposed to be 325. And that is, if I can get it away from Skitters, that is this. This is Mini Beginner Seashell by Kayomi Harai. Yeah, Kayomi first. Okay, Kayomi Harai. Every time I get it mixed up. Okay, and then I was able to, in theory, I was supposed to add 325. right? That was the original 325 project. I just switched it with the mini Watching the World Go By, because that was really the 350 project. And then I stitched and stitched and stitched, fell asleep, woke up after 4 a.m., decided that, oh no, Pattern Keeper is not going to keep track of, you know, how much I had stitched yesterday, and went to StitchPal to see what StitchPal had to say. StitchPal said I had to stitch like 800 and something to catch up on the numbers on that. So I was like, oh well. So I know it was at least, I feel like it was like 2 something. Anyway, enough of the chatting. Here is the before and after of Mini Beginner Seashell. So this has made it past the 50% mark. Not just past, but it definitely is in the 50.0 something section now, so that's good. As you can see, I worked in all of these different shades of blue going around. I did do some of the tan colors as well because I could, because I have almost the full set here. I think it is, I'm missing probably 10 colors, but that's because they wouldn't fit on the things. Thank you, Skitters. Everything is itchy. Everything is itchy. Okay. Yep. What are you eating now? What are you eating now? You eat nothing. Okay. He eats everything. We gotta watch out for everything because he eats everything. This was the cat that was, I don't know, $1,700 of surgery before Christmas one year. Because he decided to eat part of the broom, like one of the bristles from the broom, got stuck in his trachea. They decided to cut him all open just to make sure that he didn't have anything else stuck. Alright, last but not least, because there was a lot of things we did this week and some days just weren't stitching. So the last thing this week is Mini Sunset Owl by Artisy. I'm going to stop and make a new video. Do you like Simon's leg? Oh boy. Alright, he's so passed out. Yeah, I'm going to stop and make a new video because 28 minutes and I don't know when it's going to go and not be able to film the rest of it. Hold on. Okay, so Mini Sunset Owl, that's what this is. And here we go. I have added 120, nope. The goal was 125. I was supposed to add 125, but I did 131 to finish the color for the page. So this is the line of the page, and this is where the page is. This is color completing 823 of page 1. So 131 stitches made it complete the page. I don't know. Am I a page by page stitcher now? I hope not. Who knows? Not me. Anyway, that's it for the stitching. Sadly, that only one project didn't make it into the half an hour, 28 minute thing, but at least I'm still here and I'm still talking and I'm still happy. I kind of sprinkled all of the information that happened this week with everything else, so I don't really have a life update. The only thing that's going to be happening this week, hopefully we're going to the trailer tomorrow. We have a little bit of work to do still because James took a day because he has a migraine. Hopefully trailer, and then same old next week, just on repeat for work. And I think that might be it. I don't think that there's anything else that is... I think that's it. Okay, so have a great rest of your whatever you're doing. I hope you get to go outside, or I hope you get to snuggle up with a good book or cross stitch or whatever it is you prefer to do when you're not outside. Or you are outside and you want to do that as well. That's cool too. Alright, I'm going to talk to everybody later. Sparkle and shine. Bye, everybody.